Hello and welcome 11 Commerce students. Today also in this class I will continue with the journal chapter of your accountancy. Previously I have explained the definition of journal, the features and the functions of journal also I have discussed with a certain limitations. Now today I will explain the steps of transactions, that is the steps in journalizing the transactions. What are those steps? The first step followed is to be ascertaining the names of accounts. First you have to ascertain the name of accounts. Number two, what you have to do is ascertaining the nature of accounts. Then you have to find out the nature of accounts. How? That I will help you and explain to you with the help of a transaction given. That is, suppose a transaction is given to you. That is machinery purchased in cash. This is a business transaction given to you. Machinery purchase in cash. So these type of business transactions will be given to you one after the other, date wise. All types of business transaction will be given to you one after the other, date wise. Suppose this is one business transaction. First what you have to do is ascertaining the names of the accounts. The two accounts involved, since we are following the dual entry system, we have to find out the two accounts involved in this transaction. What are the two accounts involved in this transaction? Number one is machinery account. This is one account involved. And number two is cash account. Since the machinery is purchased for cash, so the two accounts involved are machinery and cash. These two accounts are involved in this journal entry, in this transaction. These two, first we will ascertain the two accounts involved. I have told you it is the nature of dual entry system that in any transaction there is involvement of two accounts. So here in this transaction, machinery purchase in cash, two accounts are involved. One is machinery and the other is cash. So first we have to ascertain, we have to find out, we have to pick out the two transactions involved, two accounts involved in a transaction. So this is the first step. What is the second step? The second step is nature of accounts. That is, what are the two types of account? First, so you have decided the two accounts. You have selected the two accounts. Now you have to select. Now you have to find out what is the nature of this account. That is, whether real account or nominal account or personal account. What category of account is these? What is machinery and cash? What category, under which category the machinery is coming and under which category the cash is coming. So machinery is a real account and cash is also a real account. So in this way the types of account is to be ascertained. The types of account of these two accounts, the types are to be ascertained. First the name is to be ascertained and second the type of the account is to be ascertained. These are the first two steps of journalizing. The third step is choosing the approach to be followed. Choosing the approach. To be followed. That is, I have told you in the beginning videos that two types of approaches we generally follow for accounts. One is the British approach, which we generally follows, and the other is the American approach. But which approach should be followed, that is the third step of journalizing. Generally, we follow the British approach, that is the golden rule of accounting. We follow the golden rule of accounting, which comes under British approach of accounting. So we follow the British approach and not the American approach. Golden rule we follow, which comes under the British approach. Now is the next step, that is ascertaining the name of debit account and credit account. That means fourth is you have to find out what is debit and what is credit. What is debit and what is credit? Among these two accounts, which account is to be debited and which account is to be credited? Following the golden rule, we have to do this. We have to follow the golden rule and see which are the two types of account involved. Real account is involved. So real account, what comes in and what goes out, that rule you have to follow. Here machinery comes in and cash goes out. So machinery will be debited and cash will be credited. What comes in, the rule of real account under golden rule is to be followed. The rule of real account is to be followed. As per the rule of real account, what comes in debit and what goes out credit. Here in this transaction, machinery is purchased, so machinery is coming in the business. That's why machinery is to be debited and cash is going out, so cash is to be credited. This is the fourth step of journalizing. Now we come to the fifth step, that is recording the date of the transaction. The fifth step is recording of date. Recording the date of transaction. Recording the date of transaction. Recording of date of transaction is the fifth step. You have to record everything chronologically. A date column, separate date column is to be maintained in the pro forma of journal, and there you have to mention the date one after the other. Now, so this is the next step. Now we come to the seventh step, that is to and by. We have to add to and by. That is, in case of these debit and credit entry, in case of debit we don't need to maintain, just we will write the debit entry. So here in this case machinery is to be debited, so machinery we will write DR, and in case of credit we will mention the word to. We will mention the word to in case of credit account. In case of debit account we will mention the word DR, and in case of credit account we will mention the word to just before the credit account. When I will solve it, you can get. So this comes in the sixth step. Then comes this next step, that is narration. Narration is to be provided. Narration is to be provided after each and every transaction. What is narration? A detailed description. I have told you that narration is to be provided, and what is narration? Narration is nothing but a detailed description that is to be provided, a short, a brief description that is to be provided after every transaction in journal. So these are the 7 steps that you need to follow while preparing or while doing the journal entries. These are the steps, these are the following steps you have to follow to analyze or to record one transaction in the journal entry. So in my online classes I will show you how to do the journal entries, but these are the steps to be followed in case of journal. Wait till my next video.